So I'm here at the second week of COP29. It has been two incredible, intense weeks with so many people gathering in one place, over 50,000 from all over the world. I have very split emotions about this meeting, and I will tell you why. On one hand, it's fantastic that all the leaders in the world are gathering at one place to talk with each other, to share ideas, to push things further and also negotiate better policy. We are 50,000 people from all parts of the world gathering in this room. And we at We Don't Have Time, we are here to amplify those voices that cannot come here. They can join us digitally through Zoom and other technology. We have our own TV studio here, as you see, and we are really pushing for a lot of those voices together with the solutions that we have here in the room, because we really have the solutions to solve the climate crisis. We have the media center here just next door to us, where we have 3,000 journalists from all newspapers, large newspapers in the world. During 2 weeks, they're covering exactly everything that is happening 24/7. That put climate on the agenda high up in media. You don't get that any time of the year. So that's one big part of why I'm really positive around climate meetings. And for a little bit bigger news organization, they have their own office. So UN are actually giving offices to the large media organization. And now we're going to make a visit to We Don't Have Time. This is where we are prepping all the broadcasts we're doing from it. So this is great. We really need to have climate on the agenda, and COP meetings are helping with that. Regarding the negotiations, it's tougher. We know that this helps, but it's not enough. Just today there were actually a new report out there saying that we're still increasing the emissions. And it's not even flattening out. It's increasing every year, including the year 2024, globally. This is very, very bad news. So my split feelings with all this is that despite this bad news, people are positive here. People are fired up about amazing solutions. We're moving into clean energy. Transportation are going electrified. We have also a lot of new solutions to capture methane and other things. People are quite positive and fired up about it. The problem, it's not going to happen fast enough. And what we are not talking about here, first I thought it was very positive, but in this second week when the negotiation seems to getting stuck, etc., no one talks about Donald Trump. We have a climate denier in the world's largest economy that will leave the Paris Agreement, and this means that this will probably be the last COP with a US president. I mean, the US president is not even here, but it will be the last COP with US in the Paris Agreement until it's too late to solve the climate crisis. I don't see that mentality. Instead, I hear like, okay, it doesn't matter so much if we're not moving it too fast this COP, because we will have a bigger COP in Brazil 1 year from now. But we don't have 1 year. The political climate will be worse 1 year from now. So in order to solve the climate crisis, we can't focus on all the negative stuff. That will not motivate people. But we can't only focus on the positive stuff. We need a reality check. And the reality check of the climate agenda is that it doesn't work. We're not going to halve the emission before 2030. I had this panel talk with more than 100 investors in the room. And I asked them, do you believe that we will halve the emission before 2030? 2 people raised their hand. 2 people. The Guardian did a survey among thousands of people active in the climate solution space before COP29. And they got 6%. And that was before the US election. That was before we have a climate denier in the White House. So if we don't believe we will halve the emission, we must realize that we're probably going to hit all the tipping points and most of the action will not matter enough. So what can we do? And the good news, meetings like this are actually speeding up those ideas as well. But I would like it to have more focus on what to do instead. We at Wheel on Time, we are here not only to amplify all the voices and all the solutions, we're also amplifying and launching a new campaign called Buy More Time. The problem with carbon dioxide, when we emit it, it will go up. And it will stay up there for up to 1,000 years. Maybe we can kind of try to remove it, but it looks kind of hard to do it, very expensive. Methane is another greenhouse gas. It's a very common greenhouse gas. It's the second biggest contributor to global warming. And there's a big difference between methane and carbon dioxide. When we release this, it comes down again. On average 12 years. It's a big difference between 1,000 years, 12 years. So the solution here is that we need to stop emit methane. We just need to make it legally binding in another structure. You don't have it on the COP meetings, but we can talk about it and we can make it happen after this COP meeting.
What is your comment on that these countries has agreed to do this pledge today?
Well, it's a pledge, it's a promise. Obviously, we need to see it changed into action and real action. But if they incorporate this within their NDCs, their new national climate plans that all nations are hopefully revising upwards at this moment, then it would go into national legislation, hopefully within their own domestic national legislation, and become something that they have to achieve. So I think it's a very good start, and it's many developing countries as well, including the country of Azerbaijan, which is hosting COP29, so that's a good start.
So Buy More Time is an incredible, important solution. You can find out more on our webpage. But, I mean, we can't wait for policy to happen. So what can individuals like you do, you and me, what can we do here and now? This COP is supposed to be about finance. And finance, every people have some money. You can move this money. Every day you use your money, you can make sure that the money goes into those that are doing better things. Choose the greener alternative. Even if you are flying here to Baku, you can actually choose biofuel. You can choose going by train. You can choose going by an electric taxi. When you have the choices available, use the money, and not just the money when you buy things, also when you invest things, your pension money, your savings. And if you're a company, same thing. You can, often the most efficient way to change things is to change the bank account. That can cut your carbon footprint in half. So we need to buy more time and we need to move the money. I think meetings like COP meetings are very, very important.
In tough times, up against difficult tasks, I don't go in for hopes and dreams. What inspires me is human ingenuity and determination.
But the meeting will never solve anything. The people will do. And if we don't see the crisis in the eye, we will not do what it takes.
In July this year, this was us, standing in all that remained of her home after the devastation of Hurricane Beryl. At 85, Florence has become one of the millions of victims of runaway climate change this year alone.